let's get to happening on this. So this is kind of a topic we'll touch on every now and again on this show. And it's really, I read a study over, actually this morning, this story came across from Transport Topics saying that driver distraction and the hours that they put in, how big of an issue it is with accidents and insurance and everything. And the goal of the study was to investigate the impact of distraction and drowsiness on commercial truck drivers. And, it goes into, there's some of the obvious things on this that they talk about, but it goes to talk about, the hours of a fatality, when the most common hours are, when the least common hours are, and what it plays into it. And a lot of the drivers are going hands off as they're supposed to by the law, where they're like, if a truck driver's in his cab singing and talking, hands free, that's not an issue. But if he's going to reach for that coffee cup or make an adjustment
big
to
gulp.
the mirror,
big gulp.
Make an adjustment to the mirror or the rear view mirror or whatever it is, there's always, those are the main things. Not singing, not talking, not talking on the phone, because it's hands off. The talking and the singing are hands off. They're hands free. But if anything that has to do with hands, and if it's 2 seconds or more looking away, then that's when all the issues.
But how do they get their answers, right?
Right.
When we're debating on what is it, we just go straight to our phone and look for Google.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
That's a great question.
Do they say, Alexa, please tell me the answer
That's
to
what
this?
they need. Alexa in the cab.
and the numbers are better. The numbers are 60% better than they were a year ago.
Wow.
60%, a year ago, it was a mess as far as, accidents and issues with driving. Now things are getting better. That drivers are becoming more adapt to technology and stuff that makes things a lot easier for the drivers, and it's easier for them to kind of do more than things in one at a time. But if they have to make a 2-second move this way or 2-second move that way, then that's the issue.
I used to always tell my drivers, and this is before technology started. I'm not that old, folks, but I used to always go in and tell my drivers, listen, before you take off, part of your pre-trip is make sure your cab is locked down. Everything's where you want it, right? Don't be scrambling and trying to find that radio station or where your coffee cup may be. And the other thing that could distract them in the cab is things that roll around. So think about, a lot of your cabs only got the one seat.
Yeah.
Right. Especially a lot of your local tractors will only have the one seat right there. So they've got a lot of loose items they put in the passenger side seat, whether it could be your line haul drivers have got their big suitcases and their big wheels and bungee cord this, bungee cord that, right? You almost got to have that stuff strapped in, just like you have everything inside that trailer strapped in the right way and loaded the right way. Your cab needs to be the exact same way, or your distraction is that quick. I mean, how many times have you come up and just driving your car and your Mountain Dew can goes to spill? First thing you do is go to grab that.
Yep.
Your eyes come off that road so quick, and when you're moving 80,000 pounds across at 70 mile an hour, you're stopping. Your lead time is not there. Right. And then factor in the other drivers, the idiot grabbing his Mountain Dew, right? Because that's priority one. That's 69 cents, or now probably $1.99 can of Mountain Dew that they got to have or got to find or locate. That driver's distracted too, so his reaction time is already there. Now, he can make up for it typically. The guy in the car can make up for the reaction time. That truck driver that's got that space cushion, it closes quick. It closes so quick. So make sure your cab is locked down. And I think that maybe a lot of that has gone to the hand-free technology to where you're not reaching up and looking for directions and messing with your phone. So you've already got it plugged in. And then think about Google now. It updates or Waze. I'm a big Waze fan.
Yeah, me too.
Huge Waze fan. I think a lot of truck drivers use Waze. It was one of the original ones. You can mark the police. You can mark accidents. But it consistently updates your route to, hey, we're going to find you a faster route. It sees those traffic jams. And so by not going in there and looking to see if there's traffic jams, it naturally updating that will help keep your hands free and your mind just not being distracted.
And you're also telling your drivers, make sure you listen to the Ship's Gonna Happen show.
Ship's Gonna Happen, the number one podcast.
Don't let
show.
that distract you.
That's right. Yeah. Listen to the Ship's Gonna Happen show. So, I mean, it's a good article to read where technology is advancing to help drivers maintain the safety, which is far more important than.
Have they come out with tractors kind of like and not Tesla in particular, but a lot of safety features with the automatic stop. You see the commercials with the automatic. I'm not fortunate enough to be rich enough to own a vehicle like that, but where it sees a ball come across or a kid run across, and it automatically applies the brakes. So I'm sure that technology's got to be coming in
bet it
trucks.
is.
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm not
there.
100%
Volvo's
sure.
working on that, and BMW. I was going to do my topic on that actually this week. They're going to start using them at the ports. And I'll show you a picture later, but they're flat little trucks that are remote controlled, and they're like 48, 53 foot long, and it's got the auto stop safety feature in it. And these gentlemen are controlling, man or woman are controlling it, and they're doing a test run. I can't remember what port. It might have been Long Beach. They were doing a test on it.
Snoop Doggy Dogg, shout out.
Yeah.
That's right. Long Beach.
Long Beach, California.
So going back to the study or whatever,
Cali.
I mean, they kind of overstated some obvious numbers that
Don't let that gin and juice spill.
most accidents happen
Gin and
during
juice.
most accidents happen during the daylight hours, and least amount of accidents.
They do during the day. Is that? I'm telling you, it's because of the idiots else. It's not the truck drivers.
You're completely right.
Well,
with
say that
You're
again. What was
completely
it, during the day?
Yeah, the most accidents, the most critical accidents happen during daylight hours.
Wow.
And Tim nailed it. Tim's exactly right. It's because of everybody else on the road.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily because of the driver. And then the least amount of accidents happen between 1 and 6 in the morning, which,
That makes sense.
but yeah.
It's
So it was
all you got is
interesting-
truck drivers out there, and you got travelers, right?
Right.
You got people falling asleep, but that's about it.
It's an interesting article to read and talk about, or to read about, especially considering that driver safety in 1 year has come a long way, especially with the hands off, given, like Tim mentioned earlier, saying, Alexa, play this